Make it loud right now for Uncle Lazer!
How y'all doing, East Austin? Y'all living right by the Lord or what? Can I get vulnerable with you for a sec? I want to get vulnerable with you real quick. Since it's so intimate, like we're in a fucking library. All right? Look, dude, about a year and a half ago, I shot a Western, okay? And I found out about a week ago that it's gonna get picked up by Paramount and your boy's gonna be a movie star. Hold on, goddammit, hold your fucking applause. Because the role that I played in this movie, I'm probably gonna get canceled for, okay? So let me just set the scene for you real quick, okay? Donald Cowboy Cerrone is a UFC fighter, okay? Hall of Fame UFC fighter. He says, hey man, I'm writing this Western, I'm producing it, I'm funding it, I'm starring it, I wrote you a part in it. He goes, look, man, it's a role you were born to play. He said, listen, I wrote it just for you, no one else can play this part. He said, I need a gritty, southern, nasty, mean motherfucker from the South. You're gonna be a Confederate officer during the Civil War. I said, go on. He said, look, man, it's a big deal. If this shit get picked up by like a big streaming platform, you get your SAG card, you be a part of the Academy Guild, you be able to act in bigger things that'll help you out in life. And look, listen to me, I ain't never acted in nothing that big, okay? I got OnlyFans. I fucking put a Jolly Rancher up my butthole in the time of desperate need. You hear me? But I ain't never acted nothing that bad. He goes, look, man, it's a role you were born to play. Just gritty, southern, nasty, mean motherfucker from the South. I was like, yo, you want me to be racist? He said, yeah, I'm gonna need you to be racist. I said, can I say the N-word? He said, no, you cannot say the N-word. I said, I'm gonna say the N-word. I said, I'm a Django Unchained that N-word. He said, look, man, it's a big deal. I said, well, shit, man, let me go get some acting lessons. He said, good, go get acting lessons, because your first scene is a rape scene. You wrote that just for me, man? No one else can play that part, okay? And furthermore, I don't know if they offer rape at the acting coaching place, you know? Like, I ain't never raped nobody, goddammit. Like, you ever raped somebody, sir? You got the haircut for it, you know? And blink twice if you need help. But listen, like, look, man, look, and I ain't never raped nobody, okay? I ain't, not yet, but I ain't. All right, goddammit, I haven't. But I feel like if he's gonna rape somebody, theoretically speaking, okay, if he's gonna rape somebody, you just don't go behind him and go, hey, I'm gonna rape you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta soften the meat a little bit, right? Soften the meat's weird to say right there. I just realized that right now. But look, I get on set and I read the script and like, you know, I gotta hit her, I gotta talk mean to her, you know, gotta be nasty to her, acting, you know. And it didn't say it hard, but it was, you know. But like, I'm working with this little French actress, right? And she's the best actress I've worked. She's like the Kate Winslet of France, you know. And like, we're doing our scenes and I'm fucking up because I'm nervous. I don't know how to rape, you know. And in between takes, she's smoking a little cigarette. She's, you know how French people do, you know. And I'm like, hey, Miss French lady. I'm like, say there, darling. I was like, is there any way I could be raping you better, you know? And she goes, how long you been acting? I said, shit, about 6 hours, you know. And she goes, well, we're acting, so you need to learn how to act, you fucking faggot. There she is. Now listen to me, goddammit, that French lady called me a faggot, okay? I'm from Texas, okay? My daddy knew that French lady called me a faggot, he'd be rolling over in his grave if he were dead. I said, okay, duly noted. Do it? No. I said, okay, young girl. I said, do it. And so we get in this next scene. That director plays her here, plays me there. She says action, and she's saying her lines. She's saying her dialect. And as she's saying her lines, I punched her in the face as hard as I could. And I said, bitch, I'm not a faggot. My boyfriend is. You know what I'm talking about? No, listen, hey, swear to God, hey, real quick, listen. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're black. Your body, your choice, you know what I'm talking about? And people are like, black's not a choice. I'm like, well, they don't have to choose to be that loud in public, but they are, you know. I'm not, look, as long as, whatever the fuck you want to do in life, that is your business, okay? As long as it don't impede on someone else's business, that is your right as a human being. That is your freedom. That is your God-given right. But listen, I don't hate anybody, but there is one motherfucker that I cannot stand, you hear me? There's one motherfucker that I am very racist towards. There's one motherfucker I hate to my core, okay? And that is a motherfucker with the goddamn audacity to ask me if I want to help them move furniture from one apartment complex to another, okay? If you have the blatant disrespect to ask me to move a California king with you down 2 flights of stairs, you might as well just fuck my wife on that mattress when we get to the bottom, dude. What the fuck? I'd rather have full-blown AIDS. Real AIDS. Okay? Dallas Bower Club's AIDS. Not Magic Johnson gotta quit playing basketball in the 90s. I'm talking about for 99 cents a day. Alright? You can swat them fucking flies off them Ethiopian kid's face. AIDS. With that being said, I gotta move on Saturday if anybody wants to help me. Now, listen, I've been dating this witch, and she's a witch, yeah, like a real witch, you know. She tried to stab me with a knife, blame it on the full moon. There's one of them right there. And look, she cooking us some chicken. She undercooked the chicken, and I said, baby, the chicken, you know, it's pink, it's undercooked. She goes, I like my chicken medium rare. I said, that's not a real thing. And she comes at me with this knife, and then I get her settled down. She's like, I'm sorry, the full moon made me do that. And I go, that's not a real thing, Jessica. I said, you stop taking medication, you start microdosing mushrooms. I said, that's what that is, you know. But look, she's a retard, but she got a pussy like a snapping turtle, you know. So I'm gonna hang out with her all the time, you know. I'm gonna hang out with her. And look, she's a witch, you know, and I'm an adult, you know, and she smokes a lot of green dope, a lot of weed, and I don't do that, I do cocaine, you know. And I'm good at cocaine, you hear me? I turn a Sunday fun day into a no-call, no-show Monday in a heartbeat, you hear me? I'm fucking good at it, you know. But no matter how, it's a Sunday, the Lord's day. Day of rest and relaxation, okay? We're watching a little Netflix and chill. And she's like, you want to smoke? And I'm like, yeah, what you got, like indica or sativa? She's like, I got this new strain called crack. You know? And I said, you know, it's Sunday, you know? That's more of a Friday activity. But it's not crack, it's this marijuana called dabs. It's the most potent THC that a human being can put in their body. Basically, when you smoke dabs, it gives you Down syndrome for the rest of the day. You ever hit something and get cerebral palsy? Just I hit that shit and fall back in the couch like, hello, SpongeBob, you know? And she goes, hey, are you okay? I went, she goes, you need anything? And I went, I said, no, my mom's coming to get me. I done text her, she's coming to get me. But she's a witch, goddammit. And she pulls me up on top of her and she's like, I want you to make this pussy fart. I said, do what? She goes, I want you to make this pussy fart! I said, I can't afford that right now. She goes, I want you to make this pussy shit! I said, Mom, come get me. She's acting crazy again. Oh, son, y'all together? Well, this is a two-parter. Listen to me. Y'all ever made a pussy fart? No. Well, I could tell, but you ever made a pussy fart? No. Okay. Hey. You ever made a pussy fart? Don't look at her, boy. Look at me. You ever made a pussy shit? What does it sound like when that pussy fart?
I don't think I've done it.
I know you have. You, for my fucking saving grace, you've made a pussy fart, haven't you? What's your name, old son?
Oh, yeah.
Matt! What does a pussy sound like when it farts?
Just about what you expect.
He's never made a pussy fart. You see what I'm saying? He's never made... My man! One last time, have you made a pussy fart? She said yes, so you got to know. What's it sound like, old son? Turns out that boy made a pussy fart. My name's Uncle Lazer. Y'all been fucking great.